Call to order the regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, October the 14th. Of course, the delay because of Thanksgiving weekend. Uh, there's an agenda in front of you. Is there a mover and a seconder for the agenda, please? Councillor Randawa, Councillor Ady. Any additions to the agenda? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. It is now the time for members of the public if they want to make a comment on anything on the agenda, but there's nobody in the room, so we'll move on. The consent agenda is in front of you, and I will read through what's on there. There are minutes for approval from the minutes of the special meeting to close on September the 8th and the minutes of the regular meeting of September the 8th. There are reports, report from the fire chief with regard to monthly fire rescue in September, report from the chief financial officer, the July financial variance report, report from planning with regards to development activity. For September, there's correspondence, North Coast Regional District regarding board highlights from September, letter on behalf of Hope Air providing an update on their work in delivering equitable access to healthcare for people in our community. And there is an item on there, response to council inquiries from previous meetings. There's also correspondence for approval. There's a request for the proclamation for, and if you happen to be reading this at home, it reads in the agenda, Forster Family Month, but I think it's been corrected. In my copy, it says Forster Family Month, but it's actually Foster Family Month. Petition to the Prime Minister for regionally tailored immigration solutions to address critical labor shortages in Prince Rupert. Terrace Kitimat caused by recent federal policy changes. And the recommendation is that all the items on the consent agenda be approved or received as requested. Can I have a motion to that effect? Councillors Anish and Cunningham, is there anything you want brought out for particular highlight or discussion? There's nothing? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have a report from the Chief Financial Officer with regards to an authorization to borrow for fire truck purchase. Recommendation is that whereas under Section 175 of the Community Charter, Council may incur a liability, and whereas Council adopted the 2025 5-year financial plan bylaw 3554 2025 on the 28th of April, therefore be it resolved that Council gives authorization to borrow from the Municipal Finance Authority $1,417,521.41 for the purchase of a new fire truck. Pearson Forster. Can I have a motion to that effect? Councillor Nish, Councillor Randawa. Any discussion? Councillor Nish.
The only question I had was, being that we actually ordered this fire truck many years ago, when we're going to the Municipal Finance Authority, are we getting the interest rate from back then, or is this a new loan starting as of now?
Director Bombin.
Thank you for the question through the mayor. The interest rate is effective now when we take the loan out.
Any other questions? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. I just note for people that are home wondering how you quickly spend $1 million for like that. This has been under discussion for a long time. It's been well debated. This is just finishing the paperwork to finally execute on the deal. There's a report from the Chief Financial Officer with regards to Rupert Property Management Limited Revitalization Tax Exemption Application. Recommendation is that Council approves the receipt of the Revitalization Tax Exemption application from Rupert Property Management Limited. Can I have a motion to that effect, please? Councillor Ady and Councillor Cunningham. Any discussion, comments, or question? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have a report from the Director of Operations with regards to 3rd and 4th Avenue Walkway Award and Budget Amendment. Recommendation is that Council award RFP 250033 for the replacement of the 3rd and 4th Avenue Walkway to Broadwater Industries, and that the 2025-year financial plan be amended accordingly. Can I have a recommendation to that effect? Councillors Nish and Cunningham. Any discussion? Councillor Ady.
Just a question. It says that the additional $235,000 required to proceed can be accommodated within the park's operating budget. That's good news, except that I assumed that there were things that that money was going to be spent on. I'm curious about what something must have given.
CAO Pucci.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll defer to our Director of Operations.
Director Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Right now, we're actually projecting below where we normally would be, just due to staffing levels.
There you go. Not necessarily a great answer. I mean, it is the truth. I'm not questioning it. It's just an unfortunate situation. All right. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have a report from the Director of Operations with regard to the big project. It's RFP 250029, Big Project Phase 2 Design Consultant Service. Recommendation is that Council award RFP 250029 for the Big Infrastructure Gap Project, Phase 2 Design Consultant Service to WSP Canada. Can I have a motion, please, to that effect? Councillors Niche, Councillor Cunningham. Any discussion? Councillor Niche.
Just would like to, maybe if you could tell everyone what phase 2 consists of as far as which projects that would be.
I'll actually go to Director Schmidt. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd have to get back to you on the exact corridors that we're looking at, but part of this is going over what we have remaining and then prioritizing the corridors. So it's going to be part of this to determine the most accurate ones we should go to next. Part of that is going to be the priority corridors along 6th. I know is going to be one of the first one. So right where the bridge is there, there's a pretty critical piece we need to do, but the other ones after that we're examining right now still.
Councillor Cunningham.
Is this anything to do with the redesign of Frederick and possibly when that will be done and opened?
Director Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the question. No, so that project already is designed. So that's part of this is looking at how to deliver the project differently. So that piece of the project was a design build. What we found with the design build is it's actually moving a little bit slower than anticipated. So this is to speed up the projects moving forward.
Councillor Cunningham.
So do we have any date when Frederick will be available or Prince Rupert Boulevard for traffic?
Director Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Right now, we're actually looking at how to open that piece earlier, but there's a critical crossing down by the SPCA, also a large valve chamber that needs to go in. Part of the holdup there is actually looking for the materials and valves. They're rather complicated valves and where we're sourcing those. If we cannot source those timely, we're going to open the road temporarily and then go back to it. But right now it's staging and there has been some hiccups in the final design for that.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. Lost my sheet. My apologies. Next item up is Development Variance Permit 2507, DPP 2507, 121 9th Avenue. Recommendation is the council proceed to statutory notification process for Development Variance Permit DVP 2507. Can I have a motion, please? Councilors Niche and Ady, any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have a report from planning with regards to temporary use permit 2502 at 731 First Avenue West. Recommendation is that council proceed with the statutory notification process for the temporary use permit 2502. Can I have a motion, please, to that effect? Councillor Rondawa, Councillor Ady. Any discussion? Councillor Cunningham.
I noticed when reading this that staff has west and the CTE request is for 7th East. From a legal point of view, where does that stand?
CAO, or do you want me to go, Director Deputy CAO Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The staff information is correct. The applicant had noted east when it is in fact west. So the permit that's included in the agenda is correct.
So we're approving first west, not east, okay? And the other thing here, it says, is this gonna be, they're gonna fence it, put lighting and have security in that, but they're talking about short-term parking as well as long-term, and there's only 20 places there, so I just wondered what their intent was, if they're gonna have a gated thing and things like that, because they're talking about easing the parking on the Moose and the Highliner, but talking long-term parking.
Yeah. Is there any CAO Pucci?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, there wasn't any discussion about gating, like an automatic gate within the application, but I can defer to our planning department for that.
Director Pope.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can, at this point, this is a land use application, so they will require a development permit. At that point, we will require anything like gating and other uses based on what they wish to do there. Long-term and short-term parking would fall into the same land use in this case. So they will have the opportunity to do both depending on their later permit.
Councillor Cunningham.
It says in the application, vandalism and security, installation of a security perimeter fence with gated access.
Director Pope.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, so that would be determined at the development permit stage. They would submit actual land use plans to us at that point, or a site plan, and that would be indicated in the plan at that point. We would approve based on that.
Councillor Cunningham.
So we're approving a temporary use permit on what we've got here, but they can change it after we do,
So we're not approving the permit. We're going to public notification. Right.
But that's going to public notification.
That'll be part of it. Director Pope.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So a temporary use permit is similar to a temporary rezoning. It is about the land use allowed on the site itself. The development permit will be required at a later date, and that is about the development specific. So a piece of land might allow housing, but what that housing specifically looks like and the density and all of that is indicated in the development permit itself.
Councillor Cunningham.
So development permits no longer come before council.
Director Pope.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That is correct. In our development procedures bylaw, it has been delegated to staff.
So what they're saying doesn't necessarily mean what they're going to do, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, yes, to the specifics, but I think Director Pope's been very clear. It's about the use of the property, not the specifics of that use, right? The fencing, the whatever. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have a report from planning with regards to a temporary use permit 2503 unaddressed parcels on Abellis Road. A recommendation is that council proceeds with statutory notification process for temporary use permit number 2503. Can I have a motion to that effect, please? Councillor Cunningham, Councillor Niche. Any discussion? Councillor Cunningham.
Recreational vehicles, garbage removal, sewage, things like this. It's a temporary use permit for recreational I'm assuming workers to be on site.
Right.
But a recreational vehicle has a holding tank that if they're going to be there for any length of time, is there any requirement that they have to have a sewer service or anything like that?
Director Pope. Oh, am I going somewhere else? Who would like to answer this question?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A recreational vehicle, because it is mobile, is not required to. It won't be there long enough to require it to connect to our sewer system. If they do wish to connect to a sewer system, it requires separate permitting at that point. They will be required to deal with their own sewage and other wastewater in a specific way according to our bylaws and other requirements.
Councillor Cunningham.
So we'll be monitoring that.
CAO Pucci.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So since it is city property, we also have the ability to dictate what happens on that property. So we can specify they need to require a holding tank, they need to have a certain hookup or what have you. So it is on city property, which we can dictate what needs to happen on that property for us. Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. We have one bylaw, City of Prince Rupert Permissive Property Tax Exemption Bylaw number 3665. Recommendation is that council give fourth and final reading to the City of Prince Rupert Permissive Property Tax Exemption Bylaw number 3665, 2025. Motion, please. Councillor Denish, Cunningham. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. Council Roundtable. It's your turn. Anything that you want to raise? Councillor Ady.
A couple of things. One is we've all come back from the UBCM, and sometimes there's, justifiable curiosity about what that experience and what it does for us. I won't speak for everybody else, but I'll say that one of the opportunities we had was to do some lobbying in terms of specialist staffing at the hospital with the health minister. I have no idea what the outcome of that will be, but we were there making the arguments, and I know that as a general theme, we were very focused on the water treatment, the costs associated with that water treatment plan, and moving it from where we are to a project that actually happens.
Councillor Ady.
And I had one other thing on a lighter note. Two young ladies from our community competed in the Victoria Marathon on the weekend. And if the internet tells me correctly, they did very well, finishing 15th place out of 269 people in their division. 15th and 16th, they came in right next to each other. Their times were identical, 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 27 seconds for a marathon, which strikes me as beyond the realm of believability. It would take me about 3 days. And 62nd and 63rd out of some 1,200 female racers in the marathon. So congratulations to Ashton and Brooke Andreessen.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Anything else, Council? Councillor Randhawa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, as the roundabout is coming close to completion, lots of people inquiring when it's going to be open. So we have any update on that we can share with our community?
CAO Pucci.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So it is a provincial project. We know that right now they're doing deficiency walkthroughs, but there is obviously some job action going on with the province right now, so it is hard to get a hold of them. We've been trying to get an update from them the last few days, so we will look to get something and have it out to council and community soon. Thank you.
Great. Anything else, Council? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Councillor Cunningham, Councillor Nish, and reconvene in a closed meeting. Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? It is carried. Meeting adjourned.